Dynasty stash candidate. Let's talk about a player that I want to park either in a taxi squad spot or if I want to throw him at the end of my bench in a dynasty league and hopefully he pans out someday. I'm going to go with Ben Sinnott, number 122 overall in the Fantasy Pros dynasty rankings, and number tight end. He's in there on tight end 15 overall. So outside the top 12 tight ends, he's going in the late second, maybe even the third round of rookie drafts. And at that price, he's accessible to just about everybody, whether you were a contender last season, ended up with a late pick in the second, third round, whatever the case may be. Or if you're a rebuilding team, maybe you have more assets, you can go get a guy like this on relatively cheap. So he is accessible to everybody. And look, I just love the athleticism with Sinnott. I mean, he's 6'3", 250, ran a 4.68 40-yard dash, a 4.23 shuttle, and a 10.6 broad jump. So that part of the puzzle is definitely there for him. And the opportunity for him, at least in the long run, is massive. I mean, currently the team has Zach Ertz there on a 1-year contract in front of Sinnott on the depth chart, but Ertz turns 34 this season, and we know his days in the league are numbered at this point. But if we're going to talk about Ertz, let's talk about what he did as the top tight end in Cliff Kingsbury's offense. I mean, in 2021 and 2022, Ertz was a top 12 tight end on a points per game basis. And in 2022, he was the tight end 6 on a points per game basis. So we know Sinnott's going to step into that role at some point in the Kingsbury offense, just now in Washington. So if we have to wait till 2025 for that to happen, that's fine. The price is not prohibitive on a guy like Sinnott, because we're talking about a 22-year-old rookie who's got nothing but time on his side. And if I can buy low right now, I'm willing to be patient to see what the future can hold for him. Really talented player here in Washington who can only grow with this, which is hopefully going to be an ascending offense surrounded by Jaden Daniels. I actually have one bonus player, too, that I want to mention when it comes to the NFC East. I mean, this player, he just didn't really fit any of our stated categories. I mean, he's not a proven stud because he hasn't done it before. I got that. He's definitely not a sleeper because he goes a little bit too high in ADP to make that argument. And he's definitely not a dynasty stash guy because he's way too expensive in rookie drafts to be considered a player that anybody could have access to and qualify for that category. And I think there's no way in hell he's going to be a bust at his current cost. I'm talking about none other than Malik Neighbors, who goes ADP 47th overall and gets good for WR24. And look, he's by far my favorite rookie pick in round 4. And I think that he has a mid-range WR1 upside this season. I mean, Brian Daboll, as the offensive coordinator at Buffalo, I think back to those days when they traded for Stephon Diggs in 2020. And in the 2 years with Diggs, when he first joined the team, when Brian Daboll was the offensive coordinator, he made him top 5 in targets in each of those seasons, including 2020, his first year on the squad, where he was number 1 in the league in targets. And look, I'm not here to tell you that 2024 Daniel Jones is going to have the type of career step that Josh Allen took back in 2020 to become one of the elite quarterbacks in the NFL, but I'm just saying the last time Brian Daboll's offense had one defined receiver to funnel all kinds of targets to, like, it was pure gold from a fantasy football standpoint. And if you pay attention to Hard Knocks, I know that's kind of anecdotal and you never know what's getting cut out of that show, but you would see just how high the team was on Malik Neighbors throughout the entirety of the offseason process. I mean, hell, according to them, they had him above Marvin Harrison Jr. on their big board, and he ended up falling to them at 106 in the NFL draft. So, I don't expect this Giants team to be kind of a high octane offense at all. I mean, I can see them taking a step this year and being kind of around league average. And at least as far as points per game go, and I think that's all Neighbors really needs to eat for fantasy managers in 2024, because I think he's going to be one of the most targeted wide receivers right out of the gate this season. I mean, I think there's a chance next season we're talking about Neighbors as a guy who's a borderline first-round pick, if not a lock to be drafted in the top 12 picks in redraft leagues next season. And that's what I got for you folks here on a fun episode there, quickly to buzz through the NFC East. We'll be wrapping up next with the AFC East, and that'll be it for our road trip. Then it'll be full-blown redraft season with the mock drafts and all that stuff, flag planting season, guys that they're just pounding the drum for that are going to be great this year. But until next time, folks, peace.